I gave my cheating wife a second chance and she betrayed me. I, a 37 male, caught my wife, 38 female in an affair last year. It lasted 40 days and they slept together 4 times between mid-October and the end of November. We have 3 kids together and have been together since we were 14-15s. We tried to reconcile and it started off rocky. I was having anxiety and panic attacks and had to lean on my best friend for support because I was a mess. She wasn't happy being watched so closely. We went to couples therapy and around March 2025 our relationship started to improve. By May it was the best it's been in a decade. We were laughing, having fun and spending time together in a way we hadn't in so long. The summer was lots of fun, but once she changed jobs and the new job was higher stress, I noticed her starting to pull away. She quit her individual therapy and kept pressuring me to stop couples therapy. Finally I confronted her in November and she said she wanted out, she wasn't happy anymore and wanted to be alone. From the beginning I said please do not cheat again, if you want out just say so and we'll end things but do not cheat, which she agreed to. I said thank you for telling me and we agreed to separate after New Year's, to give our kids a good holiday season. I asked her if she wanted a divorce and she said no, she doesn't know what she wants, but she's never been alone and she wanted to explore that. We agreed to a trial separation and I specifically asked her if we were seeing other people and she said no, this was just for self-discovery. Long story short, we did have a good holiday, a great Christmas, and we were being great co-parents, happy and enjoying the levity of not being together. She was acting shady and hiding her phone, so on New Year's Eve when she woke me up to say she was going into work 1.5h early an alarm went off. She left at 5:40 and I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, so before freaking out I checked her location, and it showed at home. I thought she turned off her location, but sometimes her phone glitched out, so I decided to call the store and talk to her, no answer. I drove over at 6:05 a.m. and her car was there. My first thought was that she left her phone in the car and went to her old affair partner's place. I looked in her car for her phone and when I turned around I noticed a black truck in the parking lot with fogged up windows. My heart sank and I rushed over, pulled out my phone and hit record. I ripped open the door thinking it was her old affair partner, and it was my best friend, the one who had gotten me through the past year, who I had confided in and was married to my wife's friend. Our children were friends and we hung out all summer long. I died on the spot. We are separated pending divorce, we don't speak often, just about the kids through text. I punched my former friend in the face, which felt nice, and we are no longer speaking. I told his wife and she cut both me and my ex-wife off. I don't blame her. Don't give a cheater a second chance, you will regret it. Choosing to help cover up my stepdad's cheating ended up corrupting me. I'm in my early 30s now, living a comfortable life with my wife in the Middle East. But when I was 15 years old, I along with my mother moved into my stepdad's house in a small city in India. It was about a 10 hours drive away from the hometown where I grew up, and significantly more sophisticated and fast-paced. I thought my stepdad was a great guy, especially since my mother was a very tough woman to love. He was an excellent provider, and always treated me with kindness. Looking back, I realized my little teenage self was waiting to hate him, but ended up being impressed by him. Then I walked in on him pounding the housekeeper. For context, my mother was a super conservative Muslim woman, and did an excellent job of cutting me off from any kind of sexual exploration. I didn't have access to porn on the internet, this was around 2007, and we got basic cable filled with either cartoons or news or classic movies. So when I stared at the naked Nepali housemaid, I was transfixed by her round, plump, creamy white breasts. My stepdad quickly but coolly ushered me out of the room as he wrapped himself in a towel, and then proceeded to make sure I wouldn't do any damage to his life. He told me how my mother didn't care for any physical intimacy, and how the housemaid was simply helping him out. He made it sound like I was interrupting a much-needed therapy session for him. I agreed to keep my mouth shut, and he looked relieved and asked me to go wait in my room. I spent the next 30 minutes sitting on my bed, trying to figure out if I did the right thing. Now I wasn't a naive person. I'd read books and watched classic movies, I knew what infidelity was. But also, I had a real understanding about the adults closest to me. My mother had been a widow since I was 11, and it was clear she absolutely needed someone to take care of her. I too needed someone to take care of me, and since all our caretaker required in return was stress relief that he was being denied by my mother. I thought that was the end of that shocking night, but then my stepdad knocked on my door and asked me if I'd showered after getting back from school. I shook my head, since I was still in my school clothes. He told me to take a shower, just like he'd done almost every day for the past few weeks, but this time he turned around and waved the housemaid forward. Help the young man get cleaned, okay? Most of us will always remember our first sexual experience. In my case, it's etched in my brain like a movie I can replay over and over again. The young, 20-something maid stripped off her clothes, helped me take off mine, and then proceeded to bath me, before kneeling to her knees and wrapping her tongue and lips around my virgin cock. I came in maybe 15 seconds? I vividly remember her laughing, not in a mean way, but in a sort of, that's adorable way. From then till I left the country for college in the Middle East, I was a part of my stepdad's lies. And I ended up sleeping with several of his mistresses, all of whom shared the qualities of being lower class, deceptively plain looking, and secretly eager for sex with one or two men when the situation called for it. And yet, my mother was never happier, and by the time I left my home, everyone in town could agree that my stepdad was a saint for putting up with her. That's how I ended up having mixed feelings about cheating. I caught my husband texting another woman. This is the first time I ever made a post like this. Hi, I'm wife, 34-year-old woman, and my husband 34 male. We will call him Tom. Backstory: we've been together for 10+ years. When we first met I got pregnant after a couple of saucy nights. To which he never wanted me to keep the baby, which is our brilliant little girl 11 now, and I would never change my decision to keep her. But when he found out I was pregnant he said he couldn't afford a child and had started dating someone he really likes. So I let him be. When I was 7 months pregnant, his relationship didn't work out, so he wanted to try and be a family. I accepted, and with some bad bumps in the beginning, we managed to work through a lot. 10 years. Within these 10 years we tried a lot. I tried to be in an open relationship. I tried to have a girlfriend to share with him. I've let him do whatever he wanted to my body. I'm a people pleaser, and as long as it didn't hurt I was okay. With everything we tried, I've come to terms with being a one-man gal. I don't like to share. Now to June 2025. Tom was having a hard time finding a job. I encouraged him to look out of state and said we would move in with him after our house was sold. He found a job in Fargo, ND. Paid super well, worth the move. But I couldn't go. So I was left in June of 2025 to take care of the kids and pack, clean and prepare the house to sell by myself. While living with his parents. It was fine. I felt so strong about our relationship that nothing could get us down. Trying to look forward every day even with all my fears. Now to December of 2025. Near Christmas me and Tom found out about a friend cheating and even had a baby with her lover. It's a scandal for sure, but this is why I'm over here like what? Fast forward to February 1st. I take a nap and wake up at about 8:30 p.m. I have a gut feeling to check my phone recorders. I just felt like Tom was really off this last month. There were these texts and a lot. I found out that mobile phones will only record text if not on Wi-Fi, by the way. I call the number and confirm my worst fear. She told me they have been talking since December 3rd, 2025, and he has been wanting to hook up with her recently but nothing happened. He also told her we were in an open relationship. I assume he told her that to make her feel comfortable and him to feel less guilty. He and her deleted everything. So I will never know if they in fact never went that far. And yes, I did try to get the messages but no luck. I made him leave his job and move back home. Tom claims he wants to save our marriage and will do anything. And he did up and leave and moved everything back. As of February 3rd he is back. But now I'm at a loss. Do I work on things? Do I walk away? We do have 2 kids. Beautiful smart girl and our little boy who is nonverbal autistic, but he is smarter than the average 6-year-old lol. How does a person heal and move on from this? Google can only tell me so much, so I was hoping to get some real people advice.